Hello everyone. In this video, I'll be talking about Jupyter Notebook, which is an open source tool. So Jupyter Notebook is it's an open source web application that allows you to create and share documents that contain live code, equations, visualizations, and explanatory text. There are many uses of Jupyter Notebook. They mainly include data cleaning and transformation, numerical simulation, statistical modeling, and machine learning, and much more. So, a Jupyter tool is a recommended tool for beginners who want to do some small scale projects on data and data analytics. Jupyter Notebook is so popular that uh, it is regarded as one of the significant advances in scientific computing. The reason for Jupyter's such immense success is that it excels in a form of programming called literate programming. Literate programming is a software development style. It was started by some Stanford scientist called Donald Knuth. This type of programming it stresses prose first approach where exposition with human-friendly text is punctuated with code blocks. So I'll be showing you a demonstration of Jupyter tool with the installation process, the download, and execution of some code examples in Python and R language. So there I'll be showing you how the code is aligned in such a beautiful manner, wherein you in the HTML file you have one part as markdown text and the other has a code part, and the other part has either a graphic or a video embedded in it, or an image, or a URL embedded in it. So that is this is what is called as literate programming. Prior to Jupyter Notebook, there was a notebook called IPython, which was also open source tool. It was a web-based technology because of the advantages of literate programming and improved web browser technologies. IPython relieved the tension of open source options. Jupyter Notebooks are a series of cells containing executable code or markdown, and the popular HTML markup language for prose descriptions. The IPython was actually created with only one language in mind, which is Python, but later on the concept was expanded to allow for additional programming languages like JavaScript, JSON, Bash, HTML, C++, C. So to combine all these different kinds of languages, the IPython got evolved into a tool called Jupyter. So this is what makes Jupyter stand out. It basically combines all the languages, close to around 40 to 50 languages. So to use these languages, you have to install their respective kernels. I'll talk about the installation of kernels in a while. So in this video, I'll be talking about the history of Jupyter, and the I'll just walk you through the layout of the Jupyter, how to use it, what are the various features Jupyter has. So this is what I'll be talking about in the entire video. The Jupyter Notebook has many features. So the first feature is the language of choice. The This open source tool has support for over 40 programming languages, including those popular in data science such as Python, R, Julia, and Scala. The next amazing feature is that the files which you create on notebooks, it allows you to share it to anybody. Like notebooks, it can be shared with others using email, using Dropbox, using GitHub, and Jupyter Notebook Viewer. It's their separate tool which you can use to share your file. It also provides you with interactive widgets. Code can So this is the official website of Jupyter. The interactive widgets are also provided, which the code can produce rich outputs such as images, videos, latex, and JavaScript. Interactive widgets can be used to manipulate and visualize data in real time. Big data integration, leveraging big data tools like Apache Spark or Hadoop from Python or in Scala. I explore that same data with pandas, scikit, learn, ggplot2, dp, lyr, etc. So these are the library packages present in Jupyter Notebooks, so which actually give you the same performance compared to Apache Spark or Hadoop. Actually, Jupyter Notebook is a single user tool. If you want to make it a multi-user tool, you have to install a separate tool called, or an extension called Jupyter Hub. So this is a multi-version, multi-user version for the notebook design. So another interesting feature about the Jupyter is the authentication it provides. It manages the users and authentication with PAM and OAuth, or integrate with your own directory service system. It helps you collaborate with others through the Linux permission model. So this is the Linux permission model is a very secure system. The Jupyter Notebook can be deployed on in your organization on centralized servers, on site or off site. So this is one more feature that stands out for the Jupyter Notebook, and it is also container friendly. It uses Docker containers to scale your deployment and isolate user processes using a growing ecosystem of pre-built Docker containers. So these are the some features of the Jupyter Notebook. So now I'll be showing you the download process, the installation process, and some of the features, and I'll just walk you through the layout and the application area of the Jupyter Notebook. Now I'll be showing you how to download and install Jupyter Notebook on Windows 7. So let's go to the website and see the installation instructions. Install Jupyter. So, so here the website says you have to download Anaconda. So we have to first install Anaconda. Anaconda is it's an open source distribution of Python. It's basically used for large scale data processing, data analytics, scientific computing, and other things that aim to simplify package management and deployment. Anaconda's package management system is called as Conda, Conda. So let's go ahead and download Anaconda now. And anaconda.org. So this is the official website of Anaconda. It's being developed by Continuum Analytics. So here you have to go to download Anaconda tab, download for Windows. So here you have to choose which version, whether you want Python 2.7 or Python 3.6. So let's go ahead and install Python 2.7. My system is a 64-bit OS, so let's go ahead and download this. Okay, so here is the Anaconda file. Double click and install. So here click next. I agree to the terms of the install for just me. Next, next. Okay, the installation is complete. So next, finish. Okay, so now that Anaconda is installed, So the next step is we have to go to command prompt and type in Jupyter notebook. So this is the home page of Jupyter notebook. So here we have the files which have been saved on my system. So in this video, we're demonstrating some of the code examples. We know that Jupyter notebook is a way for us to run code, be it Python or R. We can actually execute these instructions interactively along with some visual data and markdown text. Prior to Jupyter Notebook, there was a tool called IPython Notebook. IPython notebooks were started with an objective of making working with Python easy and much more interactive. Only Python was the language used. But since then, there is a need to use much more languages other than Python in the same tool. So that's where Jupyter comes in. Jupyter is basically the evolution of IPython notebooks. While IPython uses roughly one language, Jupyter you can use around 50 languages, and to use these you have to install their respective kernels. The kernels like IR kernel, and that's for the R language. So here we have this is a GitHub link. So here we have the languages supported by Jupyter. So to run the Ruby language, we have to download and install iRuby kernel. For Node.js, we have to download and install JavaScript. So these are the so many languages if you want. So we have to install these respective kernels in the command prompt. Let's go to the official website of Jupyter. Jupyter Notebook, it's an open source web application that allows you to create and share documents which contains live code, equations, visualizations, etc. So it's basically used for as a data science tool, and it's used for transformation, data cleaning, data transformation, numerical simulations, etc. So I'll be demonstrating a few examples of data visualizations using some of the famous packages called pandas, scipy, numpy, etc. To start a new notebook, you have to go to the command prompt and type Jupyter notebook, Jupyter. So this command will start the server. So you can see the server is running over here. So this is my dashboard, Jupyter dashboard. So here you can see a list of files and folders which have been saved on my system. So you shouldn't the server should be actually running, because this is running on the local host, as you can see here, with port number 8888. This server must be running throughout the application and the time which you'll use, because if you were to shut down and close this terminal, then we won't be able to access our notebook on the localhost machine. You can even run a Jupyter notebook online, which the website provides. As you can see here, this is the dashboard provided by jupyter.org. So as you can see, there are many languages provided by Jupyter: Haskell, Python, Spark, Scala, R. So if we go ahead and click here, suppose welcome to Python. So as you can see here, we have beautifully written code along with some markdown text. So that's what Jupyter does. We have some text over here, we have a code running in between. So this is the Python code. So this dashboard is running Python 3, as you can see here, and these are some of the menu bars: file, to open a new notebook, make a copy, same as in the other traditional softwares as we see. So these are some of the menu bars, and here we have some toolbars to cut, edit, paste, and stop, run the code, restarting the kernel, etc. To run and execute the code, we have to click on this section and hit shift and enter. So once we do that, so we get some output. Here pandas and numpy, some of the standard Python libraries. Matplotlib is used to plot the data from data frame, and here we have imported a sample data set. So here Cborn is one Python data visualization library, basically used for statistical analysis. So once we plot this data set, so there's a figure here showing the time series on the x-axis and its value on the y. So the Jupyter notebook helps us to gives a feature. So as you can see, if I move the cursor from right to left, we can actually go through the entire values of the x-axis. That is the time. So this is the output, and I'll give you a walkthrough of the layout of the Jupyter notebook. So in this dashboard running on the localhost machine, you can see here a tab called files. These are the files on my system. Here the running tab is the any terminals that are running or any Jupyter processes here. Since none of them are running, so it's unavailable. And this was a file I was previously running for some demo purpose, and it's been shut down now. It was just a basic Python file. And here clusters is simply a way of starting a controller and engines for parallel computing or parallel processing. So here you have the logout button. Here upload, you can upload any files from your system to the notebook, and there's a refresh button, and it shows a list of running files. So here I'm running a Python file here, so that's why it's in running state. So let's go ahead and create a new file. So you can create a new text file, a new folder, a new Python file. So here are multiple options. So if you click on text file, you a new empty Jupyter notebook will be opened. So here you can write any text, you can type anything, you can select a language if you want. So as I told you, since Jupyter supports around 40 to 50 languages, here are the kernels of the respective languages. So if you can type in C++ and C, so these are the many features like that. If we click on Python 2, so we get a completely new and empty notebook. So if you are a beginner, I would recommend you to go to the help section here and use interface tool. So this gives a bunch of instructions that will walk you through the layout, the order features are available. So let's skip the tour and go to the keyboard shortcuts. So here is a list of shortcuts used for the Jupyter notebook. So these might be different for the Windows users and Ubuntu and Mac. And since this is a Windows 7 system, we have these a bunch of shortcuts. The main one would be the command to run and execute the Python code. So here we have to remember this shift and enter. That is to run our code. So let's close this and let's rename our file. So I've created a new Python file with seminar as the title. A Jupyter notebook and all other notebooks like IPython basically run in two modes called command mode and edit mode. The command mode helps us to perform operations like addition or deletion, and you can go to the command mode by just pressing the escape key, whereas the edit mode allows ourselves to edit the commands or instructions. And to go to the edit mode, you just have to press the enter key. So currently I'm in the command mode, so the indication is that the this part shows that this line is in the blue color, as you can see here. And if you click inside this section, as you can see, this turn into green part, and you can also see a little pencil here which shows that you are in the edit mode. So in edit mode, you can type anything, you can edit the commands or instructions. And if you press the escape key, it turns blue, and this is the command mode. So let's go ahead and write some Python code here. So let's go to the edit mode and type and hello world. So this is the edit mode, and if you want to execute this command, you have to go to the cell tab, and here you can see there are three types of commands: run cells, and select below, run and insert below. I'll be showing you what these three mean and what's the difference between them. So if you go ahead and click run cells, it's gonna go from edit mode to the command mode and just executes the command we have just typed. So cell, it's gonna execute it. If you select below, it'll just go to the next cell and come into the command mode. If you go here and click on insert below, it'll insert a new cell and go into the edit mode. So from now on, I'll be using the keyboard shortcut shift plus enter. So that means it just executes the command and goes to the next cell into the command mode. So here the number 18 indicates the line number of the code being executed. So for example, I give as print something. So you can see if we press enter, it doesn't compile, so we have to press shift enter. So here the 19 is the 19th execution order of the code. What this indicates is that there's not like traditional programs where the code is run from the top to bottom. Here you can run the code in between the notebook, at top of the notebook or bottom, anywhere in the code. It doesn't affect the execution. For example, suppose I assign a variable named name equals CSE and go ahead and execute that, shift enter, and suppose I print it. Okay, now I get the output as CSE. So this output 21 line number belongs to the input section 21, and suppose if I give here a name equals IC, and if I execute this and execute this next, as you can see here, even though I've declared name equals CSC at the first time, the output displayed is IC because I ran this command before this one. So the first, after 20th, the execution was this one, first execution. Then the second execution was the 20th, now that it changes, 25th line. Then you can see 24, 25, 26. This shows the execution order of the Python code. You can go ahead and select here run all. first here the output is ISA because I execute this one. If you go to run all, the execution takes place from the first line to the end. Markdown is text which is added in the notebook, which gets converted to HTML. So, as you have seen previously in the sample example shown during the first half of the video. So here this is the code section, and this HTML is what is called as markdown text. So let's go ahead and create a markdown text here. Suppose I have a file ready here. So suppose this is my text, paste it over here. To convert this into a markdown, you have to go to the cell type and markdown. So once you execute this with shift enter, so this text gets converted into an HTML, and the rest section is the code. So this is how you create a markdown text. It's basically used for explaining what the below section of the code explains. So it gives you like how the comments are in the traditional programming languages. So this acts like one of those. Let's look at some other useful features in the notebook. Since we are using a Python kernel, so any code that we put in this segment is interpreted as a Python code. But there are some special commands which we can use in our cells that won't be interpreted as Python code. For example, we go insert a cell below, and if we type any command which starts with an exclamatory mark, it's treated as a batch command. For example, suppose if I type pip list and go ahead and execute this, and here the asterisk mark says that it's busy. Currently the notebook is busy executing the command. Here also you can see that the tab is showing us busy. Here you can see the batch command being executed, which would have been executed if you had run this command from the command line. So it's kind of interesting that you are executing batch commands from within the notebook, which actually could have been run on the command line. This notebook also comes with a bunch of built-in commands that they call as magic. So there are magic commands which start with single % sign or double % sign. So the single % sign, those are called as line magics, which means that the command arguments which you pass in this cell, they are considered line by line. But if you use a double % command, that is called as a cell magic. It means that the command arguments are considered by an entire cell. So we can use one of those magic commands to list all of the available magic commands. So if I type a single % sign and ls magic and go ahead and execute, so I get a bunch of line magics and cell magics here. Let's execute one or two of these magic commands. First, let's run a line magic command, for example pwd. So pwd must output the directory which I'm currently working on. So let's go ahead and type pwd and execute. Yeah, there you go. So currently I'm in the w7 directory from the users in the C drive. Another magic command would be %ls. So this must give me a list of all folders and files in the current directory. Let's go ahead and execute. Yeah, so currently I'm in the C drive. This is my current directory, so these are the files, and the my current title of the notebook is seminar. Yeah, so here is the list of files in the current directory. Other frequently used magic command is matplotlib inline. It's a line magic command. Matplotlib inline. So this matplotlib is a Python two-dimensional plotting library which produces some quality figures in a variety of formats and interactive environments across various platforms. Matplotlib is it can be used in Python scripts, the IPython and Python shell, and of course the Jupyter notebook and other web application servers. The the interesting feature about Matplotlib is that it tries to make things easy for the hard things. You can generate plots, you can generate histograms, you can generate power spectrum, bar charts, error charts, scatter plots, etc., which only just requires a few lines of code. So let's go ahead and execute this matplotlib inline. The inline here is that's needed because you have to get the chart inside within your Jupyter notebook and not anywhere else. So that's the purpose of inline. So let's get some sample code here. um, I actually have the code here. So this is Control C. Let's create a new cell, insert cell below, and paste the code here. So let's execute this. Shift enter, there you go. So we have a plot here of some a sample data set that I took from the matplotlib.org website. It has a documentation on some sample data sets. So this is what we get as an inline visualization of the data set. So as you can see here, along with some batch commands, along with some Python code, along with markdown text, there is a combination of all types of data on this notebook. So this is really an important feature, and that's why notebooks like IPython and Jupyter Notebook are gaining so much popularity. And this feature is particularly useful because you need to run your code and see how the code executes in real time. So this feature comes in handy, to be able to show the visualization as we run through the code in between or in from the above or from the below. It really helps you to explore data, get more insight into it in the real time. So actually, without needing for us to rerun the entire script from the beginning. Now let's see another cell magic command. So let's go back and check it out. Cell magic, let's check HTML. So let's go down here and type $sign HTML. So what this command does is it embeds a video or image or a link. So it basically renders any object that you put in an iframe. So here I'll grab an iframe from a text file here. Go ahead and copy this link. uh, I'll create an iframe here. So there's one of the YouTube videos. So if I go ahead and execute this, you'll find a YouTube video being embedded here. So this part is called an iframe. So as you can see here, we have embedded an iframe directly within our notebook. You can use this command to render any HTML like images or another interesting command is the time it. So time it basically gives you the average time the any section or segment of code that it takes to run. Suppose we want to calculate the average time taken by a section of the code. Suppose I have a code here. Suppose I have an even square function. If I use it here, so here, so it says that it has taken 96.4 microseconds per loop. So now Jupyter Notebook can also render certain things like videos or images or links or any other things without the use of magic commands. For example, we can display a pandas data frame without any special magic commands. So I'll show you an example how to obtain a data frame from the pandas. So let's write the code for that. Import pan. Let's import numpy as np. Pandas is a software library written for the Python programming language for data manipulation and analysis. NumPy is also an open source extension module for Python. NumPy is a short form for numeric Python or numerical Python. It provides fast precompiled functions for mathematical and numerical routines. Besides that, it even enriches the programming language Python with powerful data structures for efficient computation of multidimensional arrays and matrices. So let's create a data frame with some random values. df equals, and go ahead and execute this. Yeah, as you can see here, it outputs the data frame in a nice and in a nice readable form. I just wanted to show you that how easy it is to visualize this data frame from the pandas compared to reading the data frame using the Python scripts. Jupyter also provides you with a feature to download this file and export it. So go to file and download, as you can download it as a Python file or an HTML file or a markdown file. So even as a PDF file you can also download. So let's go ahead and click on HTML. So the HTML file has been downloaded, the seminar.html, and you click on that file, HTML web page opens up. As you can see here, a nice and beautifully arranged HTML file. You cannot edit this because this is an HTML. You can see all the input and output as an HTML file. You can export this to whoever you want, the code and the visual. I can put this HTML into my blog or anywhere else. You can save the file. So if you want to share this file with anybody, let's see in what format the file is shared and exported. So for that, let's go to the command prompt. Start notepad, or notebook file name is seminar dot, it's saved as IPYNB file. So if we go ahead and click enter, so we have this notepad file opened. This is exactly our seminar Jupyter notebook file that has been saved as a notepad. So as you can see, the syntax of this file is basically a JSON file. So as you can see here, the magic commands that we had displayed, the JavaScript magic commands. So this JSON file contains all of the information that we had saved on the notebook. So this is how the file is structured in the background of the notebook. Okay, so now that we have gone through the installation and demonstration uh, processes of Jupyter Notebook, uh, so I want to talk about two more points, that is the architecture of the notebook and the creators of the notebook. The guy shown here is Fernando Perez. He was one of the creators of IPython notebook, the preliminary version of Jupyter notebook. I have to give credit to this guy because a lot of work and thought process has been put into creating such a wonderful tool and open sourcing it. So coming to the architecture, uh, a couple of minutes back I told you that the file which we use to share, the notebook file which we used to share to anybody, it's saved as a JSON file, as we saw in the index, like here. Yeah, so this was a JSON file which I had created and saved under the name seminar.ipynb. So this is what happens in the background of Jupyter Notebook. This is the browser, this is the notebook server. The notebook frontend does something extra. In addition to running your code, it stores code and output together with markdown notes in an editable document called a notebook. So when you save it, this is sent from your browser to the notebook server, which saves it on a disk as a JSON file. So this is a notebook server. So when you run it, it is saved as a JSON file with .ipynb extension. These are some of the examples which Jupyter Notebook supports, like Python, like Ruby, Julia, etc. The notebook server is not a kernel. It is responsible for saving and loading notebooks, so you can edit notebooks even if you don't have the kernel for that language. You just won't be able to run code. The kernel doesn't know anything about the notebook document. It just gets sent cells of code to execute when the user runs them. So Jupyter Notebook was designed keeping a single user in focus. So it's a single user by design. But if you want to use the notebook as a multi-user, you have to enable it through Jupyter Hub. Jupyter Hub is one more extension of the Jupyter Notebook. So you have to install a Jupyter Hub. It's just a one-line command. So so the future of the Jupyter Notebook is quite amazing, in the sense that it enables interactive computing. It has a real-time collaboration with the users, because in the notebook, as you see, the code is neatly built and executed, so you can see the input and output. You can execute the code whenever you want, not only top-down approach. You can execute anywhere in the between. So recently, Jupyter Notebook has been in discussion with Microsoft PTVS team for the protocol that Microsoft is designing. It's called a debugger protocol. And the Jupyter Notebook, since it's an open source, many ideas have been flowing in regarding adding panels for text editor, output variable inspectors, and debuggers. And one more feature that Jupyter is working on is they want a tile layout, like a grid kind of, that is often a requested feature for many users. So basically, if you are doing anything in data science or data analytics, I would recommend Jupyter as a tool you have to start off with, because it is a very good tool for the beginners. So I hope you enjoyed the video about the Jupyter Notebook. So if you have any doubts about the video, just leave them in the comments down below. I hope I can answer them. So that's it. Thank you.